and everything.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah, hey, it is what it is. But Jules Santana was popping at one time, and this whole thing of like, it's just idiotic. I mean, let's just keep it real. Let's keep it sliding. Your boy Brian McKnight is back. So I don't know what Brian, like, shout out to Droop 314. He said that Brian McKnight is a supervillain, and this is his origin story that we're getting now of like how he became a supervillain. And we're finding out now like he's been fucked up for a long time. All right, so
but I feel like maybe he always been a villain.
No, he's always been a dick. We just didn't know that. We're finding out that he's been a supervillain. Is my point?
Yeah. No, I can agree with you on that. It's just honestly, I've been like Brian McKnight ever since the MySpace days where he tried to educate about coochie.
Let me see how you work.
And I'm like, you're like, no shade, but you too old to be doing this. Just like
that's when I think we start getting bad, though.
Just like Smokey Robinson trying to tell us say no to drugs, pretty much, and we're not going to talk about all his scandal and the accusations.
I mean, we talked about it before with the maids and stuff, with the maid or whatever.
Well, it's still a thing. Like now it's a man accusing him, but I was just like,
really? Oh shit!
Oh yeah, Smokey's still in that high water. Okay. But I think what Brian McKnight is, we spoke about this before, and I'm like, he strikes me as a person that, because now you are dabbling in other races, like you're trying to make them feel superior to Black people, and because
I don't know, I just think he's a dick.
No, he can be a dick and dumb and also hate himself.
Well, hold on, we're gonna play a clip here from him being on Anton Daniels' podcast, or whatnot, discussing his former wife and everything. So here we go with this, and then we're gonna talk about Marc Lamont Hill's response to him, because I guess he got mad at Marc Lamont Hill, said that he wasn't smart and he'd debate him.
Families are two prominent families in the Black Adventist Church. We both met at the college where I was going. She came, okay. I was a sophomore, she was a freshman. We kind of started dating. The next year she gets pregnant. This is back when shame was a real thing.
I know, yep, I get it.
She's back home, she tells me she's pregnant and that she's gonna get an abortion. Because I'm like, yeah, we should probably do that. You're 18, I'm 20. Why would we? I'm just about to start this whole thing. Maybe this is the route we need to go. And she agrees. I'm like, dodged a bullet. I'm going out to sign my deal in California. When I leave there and get back to Huntsville, that's when she called me and said, actually, I didn't have the abortion. So now I'm like, I got to tell my mom. My mother, who played the piano and was singing in the choir every week, in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, if your kid has a baby out of wedlock, you no longer can hold any church office. You can't sing up in front. You can't do it. You are held responsible for whatever the kids do. I honored my mother, and I tried to do the right thing with a woman that I hadn't even known a year yet. We got married in September, baby in November. We had sort of an agreement. You handle this part. I'm not changing diapers. I'm 20 years old. This was not what I expected to do. You made this decision. You're going to handle that, and I'm going to handle this.
Yeah.
When you make that bargain, you say, hey, you're going to take care of this. This is your responsibility. And they say, got it. And you go and you do what you have to do. You're expecting that to be the case. But we don't realize is that people will tell you whatever it is they want to tell you to keep you there until that first argument. Then the real thing starts to come out. But by then, you're looking at your life. You're like, well, and I had this conversation with my mother, like, why did you have me do this? You tried this. It didn't work. Now you got me doing it.
Right.
It was tough, but I'm already in it. We separated 4 times before we ended up getting divorced ultimately anyway.
How far into the marriage would you say the first separation?
2 years.
Because you were married for what, 13 years?
Yeah, 13.
So why not just break off? Why stick it out for 13 years?
For the kids. I was never in love with their mother. I wasn't. They weren't made from love to begin with. And I said this before, and people got so mad, this obligation that just because you lay with somebody now, it's sort of an 18-year sentence of some kind, or beyond that, because it's forever. There's resentment there. But at the same time, you do have these children, and you want to try to do your best to do right by them. If we were never supposed to be together like this in the first place, but we have these children, we both have to do what's right for them. And you're right. What we should have done was just separated for good then.
What's that nail in the coffin that then leads both of you to come to the conclusion that you guys are no longer good together, regardless of whether or not you have kids or not?
I think we always knew we weren't that. She may have been lying to herself if she thought otherwise. For me, when I realized I could parent those boys without her, I could be a good parent. I could be there for them and I could give them what they needed from me without being married to their mother.
Do you think that the kids were the thing that kept y'all together as long as you were?
Absolutely.
All right, Don. Let me let you go first. Your thoughts on him, and then part of the reason he feels like his kids were born in sin or from sin. So that's what he's basically trying to excuse in this.
So I mean, we talk offline about like religion and things like that, and how people's lives are shaped around religion. So to a certain extent, I can understand that and believe that. But also, my thing is, age-old thing. It takes two to tango, and why were you not using protection? And then you marry this person because you said it's the right thing to do because you are trying to honor your mother, even though she, I guess, found herself in a similar situation where it didn't work out for her. But then you proceeded to have another kid.
No, two more kids.
That's what I was like, because they have a daughter, right?
Yeah, they have three. They had 3 kids together. One of them passed away.
I'm like,
Nico.
Yes, and so I was like, you have other kids with this woman over a 13-year span. You guys separated the second year, and I'm like, the interviewer, like, okay, when y'all separated, why not just make that final and keep it moving, and just move on with your life? I think sometimes people like to alter reality, and I'm not saying his feelings are not valid or anything. Like, if that's how you ultimately felt, but I would think there was something there that was still kind of comfortable for you that made you stay. You were bragging about your children, your wife.
So he had a kid before he got with the daughters from before his wife.
Okay, so the daughter is the oldest. And
yes.
then he lost his son. What was
Nico.
that last year? Nico, yep. This year, last
year. Brian Jr. left.
And then he has Brian Jr. And I think it's just kind of messed up. Like I said, I think people like to kind of alter reality a little bit. And it could be a moment in time. But here's my thing too. It's like, you've been very vocal and very disrespectful, and then are upset that your children, regardless of how they were made, out of sin, love, it doesn't matter. But it's embarrassing and disrespectful to their mother. So they're supposed to come to the fence like this is not cool. I don't understand. Like the whole weird thing about you having another child, naming him, not her. Him, Brian McKnight.
Your middle name, so that could be real junior.
And wow. It's just really. But again, for me, it goes back to when we talk about like self-hate, or whatever. And I feel like to a certain extent, like you don't hate your ex-wife, you hate yourself because you've allowed yourself to not live. We're gonna say live this life that you ultimately thought you were supposed to have. So you look at your kids like you disowned them, you disrespected them, took them out your will, simply because you're egotistical maniac. Like there's something wrong with Brian. There's literally something wrong with Brian McKnight. Because it's embarrassing and humiliating, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean,
like we talk about legacy. The fact that like now this is now your legacy and we're not talking about your music, that is a problem.
And people have been through these situations since the beginning of time. Like there was no purpose in him dragging his kids, dragging his ex-wife. There was no need to do that. It was just being a dick. Now and I'm gonna play Marc Lamont Hill's clip in a second. But I was talking to my friends like, yo, man, I question his new wife for thinking the shit he doing is cool.
But and that's how I feel. That's also how I feel.
Like, yo, so you think it ain't gonna happen to you? Like, you don't think if you jump bad with him that he ain't gonna be talking about fuck your kids? Like,
I'm just saying, there's this other there, but that's still that dynamic when it comes to how black.
As long as you treat my kids okay, it don't matter how the fuck you kid.
It's that, and so, like I said, when we talk about black men, black women, the verses, she probably feels like because she's another, like whatever. I think she's like Asian or some for.
But I don't think this is a race thing with this. I think women have been doing this forever. It is.
I think part of it low key is, but then it goes back to the because think about how he also it's the same, but unconsciously it is. It's the whole mammy complex. Like think about what he said right there, and talking about his mother, and it is well. You got me out here doing what you did, and it didn't work for you. Why would you think it worked for me? But then you still went and did what she said, like what you felt was right to honor your mother so she wouldn't be humiliated and embarrassed. So you have this problem in your life because of your mother. This is a mommy issue thing. And I think for me, I'm just like, I'm also like on the side of Marc Lamont Hill because like you're a fucking asshole. You're a terrible person. Like we don't need to know this information. Pay the lady and lay on the couch to talk about it in therapy. Like we should never know that. I don't think your kids should ever know that. Like the fact that you out here, you didn't really help take care of like Nico's like expenses while he was battling cancer. Like you're an asshole. You're a terrible person. And it's gonna be a hot place in hell for you. Like, cause this is not okay.
Yeah. So
like,
hold on.
Regardless of what your beef is with somebody, like the mother, like
it's
that should
bullshit.
never trickle down to your kids.
So during this same interview, Anton Daniels and Brian McKnight kind of went at Marc Lamont Hill because Marc Lamont Hill called him an asshole and saying like you can't do that to your kids and your ex-wife or whatever, you know. Right. So he said that this guy don't even know me. He doesn't think he can intellectually spar with me. And Marc Lamont Hill responds like this. And now keep in mind, I believe Marc Lamont Hill, he is an intellectual brother, got a PhD, but he also is from Philly. Keep this in mind when you hear this.
Don't keep coming. Or we can just stop this right here, my brother. God bless. Brian McKnight, you are an asshole. And that's okay. It's not a beef. We ain't got no issues. You're just an asshole. Since I wasn't going to mention this, but I've interviewed you lots of times. You were rude and nasty to everybody on my crew. Everybody on my team, you were nice to me. But the measure of being an asshole isn't how you treat the host. It's how you treat everybody around him. And you've been a dickhead to them. No disrespect to you, except you're an asshole. I watched a woman come up to you and ask you for an autograph, and you completely ignored and disrespected her and walked off. You're an asshole. But that's not why we're talking about this. So you say, I don't know you. You're right. I don't know you. But I don't have to know you to know you're an asshole. I don't get into your family business. Your family business has nothing to do with me, except when you make it public. And when you put your family in public on blast, that might make you an asshole. That's all I'm saying. Don't act like you better than us. You're not. You worse than us. If you want to come up here and debate, I'm sure they would let you debate. But you didn't contact nobody. You're lying, just like your children say you lie. Nigga. It's Marc Lamont Hill, pussy.
So there's some more stuff. If you watch the longer clip, he basically was like, dude, your kids have told me all this different stuff about you. You keep talking, I'm going to expose it.
Yeah,
like, I've talked to your kids, and they didn't told me and showed me receipts of your other foolish ways. So,
but that's the thing. It's like you're mad that now because you made something public, it's up for public scrutiny.
You thought you was gonna shit on them, and it's all good.
And you thought that people were gonna have your back. No, you're wrong. Like you are absolutely wrong, and so it's like I said, bring back shame because nigga, what the fuck? Ugh.
Yeah, like I said, man, I gotta question.
I'm like, listen, you don't really want the internet to handle you how they should because your ass will really be starting back at one.
He said that though in a longer clip. He was like, "You can't be mad at us because you try to start back at one with your son." You know,
hello,
with your new son.
Listen,
look, and if you are to me, honestly, you're. And I'm just gonna be honest with this. Yo, if you defending this motherfucker Brian McKnight at this point, man, you are full of shit ass nigga. I'm sorry. And let me do that as a man talking out to other men. Yo, if you think that, and it's because niggas have been in comments, even we did the other segment talking about, well, we don't know the full story. I don't need a full story when I see a nigga being an asshole.
Like, what's the full story is
I don't have
another kid, Brian McKnight.
And even in saying that, like, even in regards of I've married my wife for some nefarious reasons or reasons that weren't good, I still love my kids. That's who I am.
Because that makes sense. That makes sense.
Like, stop it, man. Like, just stop it. It's just, and it really pisses me off, man, because yo, that your son died, and it's just asshole behaviors, man. And I'm glad. And look, I ain't gonna front. Brian McKnight, your music is dope as fuck, but I have no problem with none of your shows being canceled, my nigga. I'm sorry.
Which has happened, and I'm like, oh, well.
Yeah.
It's like the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's just weird old shit to me, man. And I don't get it. It's just not, and maybe it's not for me, man. Like I said, maybe it's not for me.
You have integrity.
Yeah, I mean, like, it just frustrates me, man, especially like I go to war for my daughter, you know what I mean? Like I can, even if she didn't give a fuck about me, I'm never going to talk bad about her. Even if she later on in her life, she started being on some bullshit, I'm never going to talk about her by any means on that level like that. Cause I love my daughter, regardless of whatever me and her mother, whatever, I love my daughter.
Right.
Simple enough said, man.
Hey y'all, if you like what you see here on Everyone Needs an Aquarius, be sure to hit that button right there. It'll take you to more clips, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share our podcast. See you back next time.